Hi students, welcome to the organization topic in the 18 CS 51, that is management entrepreneurship for the IT industry. Okay, so earlier like we have studied that functions of management. In that, five functions are there: planning, organizing, directing, planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So total five functions are there. In that, planning we have studied in the earlier videos. So now the second one is organizing. So what is organizing and what is organization, we will see one by one. So organization, an organization can be defined as a social unit or human grouping deliberately structured for the purpose of attaining specific goals. So the people who are working, it is a social unit. Okay, the in the organization, like in the place, working place, where the people who are working, that is human grouping, as well as even the social unit, entire thing we are considering as the organization. So an organization can also be defined as, generally, like it is the definition of the organization, the process of identifying and grouping of the work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibility and authority, and establishing relationships for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in the accomplishment of their objectives. See, they have given clearly here in this definition that we have to identifying and grouping whatever the job is there inside the organization, that is whatever the work is there. We have to identify the work, and we have to group that particular work, and we have to find out that who can perform this very well, and we have to delegate the, and we have to distribute the responsibility, delegate the responsibility and authority, and establishing relationships for the purpose of enabling people to work most effectively together in the accomplishment of their objectives. So whatever the objectives they are defining by the top level management to reach that particular objective, when all the people combinedly together, when they are working to attain the goals, that is nothing but organization. What are the characteristics of an organization? Organization has a purpose, goal or goals sometimes. Okay, definitely there is a purpose of organization. Okay, the purpose may be giving a very good quality product. The purpose may be getting a very good name from the people, that is nothing but goodwill. Okay, those things will be there. And also organization has a clear concept of major duties or activities to achieve the purpose. Whatever the duties they are allocating, whatever the activities are there inside the organization, okay, to achieve the purpose, that is nothing but to reach the goal, to reach the objectives of the organization is the purpose. And also organization classification of activities into jobs, establishment of relationship between these jobs. So what they do is, inside the organization they will create different works, will be different, like maybe accounting separate, next manufacturing is separate, next grouping, assembling is separate. So like that they will create different activities in jobs, and they will provide the manpower to that particular assignment. The nature of organization. So the in the nature of organization, the people are very important, and organization is basically made up of group of people. Without human being, there is no organization. So the people are very important. Basically the group of people will call as the organization in the organization. So an identifiable group of people contributing their efforts towards the attainment of goals. So whomever are working to reach the objectives of the organization, all those people combinedly will call as the organization. So the common purpose will be there. The common purpose is the object, reaching the objectives. So all the employees common purpose is to reach the goals. So the main thing is they have to reach the goals. To reach the goals combinedly when they are working, okay, that particular work, combined work, will call as common purpose. And coordination is very important between the people, between the departments, everything. The coordination should be there to reach the organizational goals. Also authority is nothing but top level management. Again, in top level management there will be president, there will be vice president, directors, everybody will be there. So the hierarchy they will follow. So based on the hierarchy, whatever it is there, so the authority also will be there from top to bottom. Division of work. So when the work will be more, what they do is that they delegate the work into the levels of the people. So they divide the work into various people to accomplish the goals very fastly, and the work quality will be more. Environment is very important, as the environment will influence the large environment, and therefore they are influenced by the external environment. So environment also important. What is the purpose of organization? The purpose is it facilitates pattern of communication, one authority and responsibility, to allocate the authority and responsibility. So whatever the authority will be there, as per the hierarchy from top level to lower level, that authority they will create, and even they will give the assign the responsibility also as per the authority. For example, a departmental store may leave pricing decision to the lower level manager, while in oil refinery pricing decision is at top level. So one small department store, okay, so pricing decision will be they leave the pricing decision, because the lower level manager will take the decision based on the demand of the product. But in oil refinery pricing, top level they'll decide the price, and they will fix the price, and they will sell that particular product. Okay, so all these things will be the purpose of organization. So to stimulate creativity, to encourage growth, to make use of technological improvements, all these things will come under purpose of organization. Next, what are the types of organization? So based on official recognition, generally like formal organization, informal organization. Based on internal structure, line, functional, line and staff, and committee organization. So these type of organizations will be there. So what is the difference between formal and informal organization? So here they have given that item: formal organization, informal organization. Based on the origin, formal organization is official and started with definite purpose. So they know that what is the purpose, why we are starting our organization, everything will be there in the formal. Whereas informal organization, it is unofficial. It means that formal organization will be having license, trademark, they will be having like GST number, everything will be there, TIN number, everything will be there. Whereas informal organization, they will not have those things and all. So it is completely unofficial and developed naturally based on individual or group of goals. Structure, based on structure, a formal organization, definite structure will be there, and they will mention that who is president, what is his authority, who is vice president, what is his authority, how many directors are there, what is their authority levels, what is their responsibility, what is general manager authority and responsibility, everything they will define clearly. Whereas informal organization, there will be no particular definitions, defined structures, those things, authority and responsibility will not be there. Based on control, formal rules and regulations will be there in the formal organization, and there will be no formal rules and regulation. So based on the immediate decision, they will take any decision, they will follow that particular thing in informal organization. Communication, it is formal communication, whether it may be top to bottom or bottom to top. Formal communication will be there. Formal communication is nothing but there will be written communication. They will forward from top end to lower level. So based on the requirement. Whereas informal organization, there will be no formal communication. It will be completely informal. They will not give any paper and all. Just orally they will give the information, and they will follow that particular thing. Size can grow to very large size, because it is formal organization. The number will increase slowly and it will go. But informal organization, it will be not big organization. It will be a small organization, a small group of organization. You can see here the how the formal organization and informal organization will be there. So the managing director, like the formal organization, for example, one managing director will be there in the top, for example, and various departments will be there. The manager for finance, manager for human resource, manager for marketing, manager for operations, like that. Different managers will be there under managing director. And again one manager, okay, again section heads will be there under every section. Like for example, accounts, finance, under finance manager, accounts separate will be there, and like that, like different people will be there. Okay, the same way after that again, foremen, workers will be there, supervisor will be there. So there are so many people will be there, but it will be structured. That is nothing but formal organization. Whereas informal organization means there will be no rules and regulations, like one under one particular director, maybe one particular manager, the other department worker will be responsible, like that it will be there. There will be no proper what is that, hierarchy in the informal organization. Okay, next, line organization. What is line organization? Line organization is the basic framework of the whole organization. It is a very basic line organization. Line organization, like manager, general manager, manager, assistant manager, like that it will be there. It represents a direct vertical relationship with authority flows. So vertical will be there, and this is vertical structure. One person delegates authority to his subordinate, and who in turn delegates to his subordinate, like that. As I told to you, general manager will be having the authority to the on the manager. The manager will be having authority on the assistant manager on the supervisor, like that it will be there. So we are calling as line organization. The advantages with line organization is it is very simple, and they can take quick decision, and they can follow the decision whatever they are taking. So speed, action they can take, and the control will be very easy, as because one person will be there under, for example, under general manager, only manager will be there. So it will be very easy to take the control. And clear division of authority and responsibility, because only one person will be there. There will be the complete authority, what he has to do, everything, the responsibilities, everything will be clear. So they will do that. And discipline will be there, coordination will be there, communication will be very easy, because only one to one it will be there. So all these are the advantages. At the same time, some of the disadvantages also there for the line organization. That is, the organization is very rigid, because we cannot change that. It is not so flexible as one-to-one communication is there. And being an autocratic system, because when a person is not good, for example, a manager is not good, then the assistant manager will suffer like anything because of his attitude. Because there is no other delegation, or the authority will be there, only one person authority. Whatever he feels that, he will completely, he will give the entire work, and he is completely depending on that particular manager. So it will be very difficult when it is autocratic system. The managers may become dictators and not leaders. And there is scope for favorism, like if a person is doing if a person is doing any personal help to these people, they may show some favorism to the next level people. It will be a problem, though they are not working, these people may give the importance to them. All these things will be there. And there will be no specialization in this particular thing. And this is the line organization, like general manager, under general manager, production manager, finance manager, marketing manager, under again finance manager, assistant finance manager, accountant, clerks, like that the flow will be there. So the finance manager is the head for the assistant finance manager is the head for accountant is the head for the clerk, like that it will be there in the line organization. Next, functional organization or staff organization, we will call as sometimes staff organization also. So functional organization is the specialist are made available in the top position through the enterprise. So the functional organization is the specialist. See, for example, where they are a specialist in that particular area, that particular thing, positions they will give. A functional in charge directs the subordinates through the organization in his particular area of business operation. It means that that particular area of the business operations, whomever they are there, for them only they will give direction to their subordinates in the organization. Advantages are reduces the burden of the top executives, because no need to worry, because the lower level people can take care of everything. And it offers greater scope of expansion also. And a functional manager is required to have expertise in one function only. So one particular manager can do only one particular function only. This makes easy for the executive execute the development. So whatever the development they want to do, it will be very easy in the functional area because they are specialized in this particular area. Functional organization disadvantages. It violates the principle of unity of command because there will be no unity of command, and the operation of functional organization is too complicated. It is very difficult, and it develops specialist rather than generalist. So there will be only one person will be excellent in one area, but they do not have much idea about the other areas. So it will be a problem because a person should know about even other areas also in the organization, but they do not know because of this particular problem, and lack of coordination among functional executives with delays decision making. Definitely the decision making will be delayed. And these are the functional organization, like general manager. So production director, here you can observe in this figure, general manager is having 4 different directors, that is production director, finance director, marketing director, and personnel director. Under production director, again, see, general manager X and general manager Y is there. Even finance manager also, general manager X, general manager Y is there. So this is the functional organization. Okay, so the line organization is only general manager will be having production, finance, marketing, operation. Like that, the same way general manager Y, X, Z will be there. But whereas functional authority, the finance director is having general manager division X, general manager division Y also. This is the functional authority. And the third one is line and staff organization, that is combined. So in line and staff organization, the line authority remains the same, as we learned that the step-by-step authority will be there, and it does the line organization. In addition, the specialists are attached to the line managers to advise them in the important matters. The staff officials do not have any power of command in the organization, as they are employed to provide expert advice to the line. So line and staff organization, in simple way, that line organization what it is there the same way, and also they are adding staff organization because the people they want a specialized people, so they are adding this staff organization also for this. So what are the advantages for this line and staff organization is specialized knowledge. They will be having specialized knowledge in this particular area. See, for example, if they are good in assembling, so there will be assembling section, and they will be having very good knowledge in the assembling area. And reduction of burden on line managers, better decisions as staff specialist help the line managers, unity of command, flexible when compared to the functional organization. So all these things will be same like line or functional organization. The same way, even disadvantages also there, because allocation of duties between line and staff is not clear because it is combine of line and staff. So when they are assigning some duties, they may say that it is not my duty, like that. This is the problem. And generally some conflicts will be there between line and staff executives. And the same way, the staff will say that I am not the accountable for this particular job or something like that. And the difference between the orientation of line and staff, the coordination will be missed completely, and difference will start, and the problems will be more. These are the disadvantages of the line and staff organization. This is the chart for the line and staff organization. Board of directors will be there, executive, managing director, and control, and manager A, manager B, manager C. So this manager A, manager B, manager C are having the some knowledge about the particular area. So they required line and staff for this. And there will be some committees will be there. A committee is a group of people. For example, in our college also some committees are there, like student committees also there. So for a particular purpose, they will create some, they will take some people and they will create one committee, like maybe advisory committee, executive committee, any committee it will be there. So there are two committees may have same individual as a member. Their functions are separated by time, place, and title. See, for example, I may be member in 2-3 different committees, no problem. But my importance will be differ in each and every committee. So the committees will form only to discuss about that particular issue. Like advisory committee, example, advisory committee. So these committees will be staff authority, and only like various committees will be there, like executive committees, and so many things will be standing committee, ad hoc committee, and so many things will be there. Okay, so organizing is over. Thank you students.